Hi everybody, it's Marianne at Sew Right again. Just want to teach you about a new technique. It's Flatlock. And pretty much all the sergers out there have the capability of doing a Flatlock stitch. So when you are going to thread up your machine and do all the setups, just refer to your manual as to what you should do for your machine that does a Flatlock. Flatlock is you put two layers of fabric together and you stitch them like a regular overlock. But when you open them, the two layers are going to lay on top of one another. So on the wrong side or the other side, you won't see any seams. It's flat on both sides. There goes the term Flatlock. So I want to teach you about this today. When you do a Flatlock, you're going to decide, do you want the overlock stitch on the outside, which you see the loops going off and on, or do you want the ladder side, which looks like just straight lines across? So if you want the overlock side on the outside of your project, you're going to put your wrong sides together. If you put your right sides together, your ladder is going to be on the outside, and your overlock is going to be on the other side. So you have to pay attention to when you're feeding your fabrics through. So you're going to, like I said, you're going to set up your serger for the Flatlock stitch and just refer to your manual as to how to set it up. All right, so now I've got my fabrics together, and take notice, I've got wrong sides together because I want my overlock stitch to be on the outside of the project, because it's going to be a really beautiful accent. Again now, I spoke about it on other occasions. The lower the number of the stitch length, the closer the loops will be. Right now, my stitch length is on 3. I'm going to decrease my stitch length back down to 1 so that my loops are closer together, which gives it more glitz, more accent. Wow, metallic thread and loopers. It's awesome. Now, before I stop and take that out, I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to put right sides together just so that you can see the difference. So this is the right side of my white fabric, this is the right side of this fabric, and I'm going to put these two together and I'm going to stitch them. Then you're going to see the difference in the look. And yes, I'm keeping my stitch length short. When you do a Flatlock, you're going to, when you open up your fabrics, there's the ladder, and with this white fabric it's showing up that you can see it real clear. There's the ladder. Look at that. Here was my long stitch length. I was up at 3, and when I decreased my stitch length down to 1, there's that side. Almost looks like a satin stitch from a sewing machine. So there's that side. When I turn it over, there's my overlock side. Up here is the long stitch length, 3. When I decreased my stitch length down to 1, my loops became closer together. Then I'm going to go over here to show you when I put right sides together. There is the ladder. That's the one I says looks like a satin stitch from a sewing machine. And then my beautiful metallic thread is on the wrong side. looks nice, but that was the thread I wanted as my accent. So you got to pay attention to whether or not you're putting right sides together or wrong sides together to get the overlock stitch on the outside to achieve that. Now, while I'm here, I want to point this out. If you look here, you can see how the white fabric is curling in. And you want it to get flatter. If you start to roll the fabric, depending on your fabrics, they'll go flat. If you have some difficulty doing that, Havel makes a double-eyed needle. There is no point on either end. And you can take this and feed it in between the two layers of fabric, so that now I can start to push that one layer flat that's curling. And you just work it through. TV time. So we just go like that, and it's starting to go flatter. If you notice here, it's pushed out more than versus this one over here. So all you got to do is just work it a little, and when you feel this, you'll feel that it is flatter than the side that still has a little bit of a curve in it. And again, it just helps with getting the seam to lay flat. Flat lock. All right, when I use techniques on the serger, just like a sewing machine, I never know exactly what I'm going to do to embellish my project. So it's all about experimenting. And today was the Flatlock stitch. And you can use this for taking all your scraps. Imagine having a load of scraps and wanting to connect them all and have no seams on the back. So now you can put, it's like collaging your fabrics, putting them all together, and then you can use it as a table runner. You could use it for the top of a quilt. Doesn't have to have your 1/4-inch seams in there. You can use this as your embellishment, and then still put your batting underneath, put your back on the back, and still do other stitches in here like your quilting stitches. But incorporate your serger into other things other than just garment construction. There's so many possibilities. I hope you enjoy your serger as much as I do. Bye.